MONOKERUS, Moon. While I may not be able to physically be there to warn you, I can write this in letter form. April may have been a wild ride for you and Jerry, but the rain has started to fall. The incoming storm is just the beginning. Once the first rainbow of June arrives, you'll need to go see an oracle in the clouds to get any further information on the already prophesized fate you and many others of your kind will face. You may even foresee any others along the way to come protect you in this treacherous time. The rampant waves are starting to come together after years of neglect and broken trust in the sea. It's up to you and others to face the overarching waves every time passes. Things aren't gonna be the same anymore, and it may either be a good way or a bad way. Regardless, good luck, Moon. Sincerely, Odd.
Hello everybody, my name is Moon, and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be going back in time to talk about the shit that's happened in May in SSO. And if you thought April was big, get ready y'all, this shit's gonna be big again. This month had a lot of shit that as of right now has underlying effects that have heavily affected the community. And June also reciprocated in the same way, but it added more fuel to the oncoming storm that's happened in that month.
Bag up, bag up. Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord. Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus.
Get ready, y'all, because we're about to dive into a bunch of emotions, reactions, and other shit this month that's probably going to affect SSO negatively in the long run. So as always, before I get started, if you want to support me further on my content, check out my Ko-Fi. I also do behind the scenes stuff more in depth over there as well, and I also have some projects coming on into there soon. Whether or not by the time this video comes out it's either ready or it's not. So if you want to check that out, head on over to my Ko-Fi. And I want to give a huge thank you to all of my Ko-Fi supporters for supporting me going forward with my videos. Y'all are amazing, and I can't wait to continue showing more content to all of you, and I really enjoy doing this, so huge thank you to all of y'all. Now with that out of the way, without further ado, let's first start off with the prologue. Yeah, this shit's gonna become common if this keeps up, y'all. This has officially become a reoccurrence because this shit in SSO has gotten bad to the point where literally it's just gone hellfire everywhere. From last month, despite the shit going on with the Equestrian Festival, SSO had a lot of shit happen outside of the game that was concerning. For starters, SSO revealed that horse progression was coming on the 4th week of May, and despite their claims saying that they made changes to the shitty UI since the beta test in January, a lot of us weren't buying it. On top of that, SSO has canceled their mobile game app Wild Song, the comics by Ellie Pukangas, and the books by Helena Dahlgreen, which raises a lot of concern within the community. The comics and books were canceled due to reorganization and also housed potentially again another victim of SSO's shitty treatment to their employees like the Glassword reviews has been prospering from the past. SSO has lately been acting on decisions without not even thinking about the feedback that's gonna come with it on the spoilers and from people pleading to them to fix stuff, so the tensions were extremely high and it was only getting higher every second. So now with that out of the way, let's start off with weeks 1 through 2. The first 2 weeks are mainly uneventful, with really the stars of this week being shit you can buy. For starters, the first week they added a kind of short working a quotation ranger race, while this man has a fangirl moment that someone finally ran his faraway forgettable race.
Oh my god!
Then they had a rerun of Isla and Umbra again, so at this point, if you don't have them, you're either living under a rock or just get these horses, they're really worth it. Then they now add the ability to change out hairstyles that you either owned, or change your makeup that you already own, or change your character appearance that through the character maker in any salon in the game. Reason being is because they are once again preparing for the most dreaded updated character update.
How y'all doing?
June's gonna be a fun thing to talk about when this comes. Finally, they finally fucking added bell boots with wraps. Took fucking almost 12 years to get bell boots, y'all. Hallelujah. However, they once again have the retrofitting issue that we are all very familiar with, where this time they only put it on 4 breeds: the Lusitanos, the Pacifinos, the Lipzangers, and the Andalusians. Good job, SSO. Good job. This had a little bit of an uproar where once again it's about SSO not retrofitting their tag on every breed in the game, where they once again reminded people that they'll do more when the damn godforsaken character update comes out. Even though they just said they wouldn't push out any more tags so they could actually retrofit shit last month, they proceeded to put out more tag in week 2. I do also have to say real quick on the bell boots that there's actually a very nice color range and they're also affordable, so good job on that, I guess, but that still don't excuse your retrofitting issue, sis. I just overall mainly wish they had at the very least attempted to put it on more breeds than just 4, because people also mentioned that the Belgian Warmbloods are a breed that heavily need bell boots, believe it or not, so I just wish they would at least try to attempt to do at least more than 4. That's it for week 1, so on to week 2. Basically, as I kind of alluded earlier, they added more tack, and this time it's a pastel western set, which a lot of shit's cute, but they actually did make ones that can fit on more breeds. So, good job, SSO, good job. But it is still critical that they said they weren't going to do any more retrofitting until they do the character update, yet they add more tack. Jesus Christ. Next, SSO added 2 new coat variations to the Morgans, the Silver Bay and the black one, which, like the Carmelo coat, are the coats that are from Gen 2. And honestly, these ones are very cute, despite, again, the issues that I've talked about in February with the Gen 3 Morgans in general. These are very well done coats, so good job. Finally, we have the gorgeous, sexy, fucking amazing Pintabians.
He needs some milk!
Finally, we got Gen 3 Pintabians after way too damn long. And not only do they got coats from Gen 2, but they also got some new ones in here as well. And personally, I love every single one of the coats in here.
Damn, what is that, bro?
And here's the thing, I am a sucker for paint, so your girl was going to love these regardless. Now, I ain't get one yet, and that's just solely because they are the same exact price as the Ravens, which if you don't know, they're expensive as fuck. So literally, if I was actually not broke, I would buy them all in a heartbeat. Some people did actually get upset at them because they thought it was gonna be like a slightly different model, when literally a Pintabian is an Arabian with paint markings on it. Fun scientific fact, y'all, that I learned from my friend. A Pintabian is actually 99% Arabian and 1% paint. And that's mainly because, since if I remember correctly, people can correct me on this if I get this wrong. Paints for Arabians are a recessive gene that's actually very rare, while normal Arabians are very dominant genes. So there's more Arabian than there is paint. That's why it's a Pintabian. They just got the Pintabian code, but they're not really a paint. And it's actually very hard to breed them because of that 1% paint. So for all of y'all wondering why it's not a different model, that is your answer. It's 99% Arabian, which makes it a hell of a lot harder. Another thing I love about them is that they actually made coats that I wasn't a fan of on Gen 2 even better. For example, this babe sort of brindle-like paint one is a lot better than whatever the fuck this was on Gen 2.
Oh, hell no!
And then another one that they heavily improved on is this chestnut one with the bay mane. It's also a hell of a lot better as well. So in terms of the rating, they're basically the same as the Arabians for me, because the Arabians, as we all know, are fucking amazing and have good coats, and I highly recommend getting them, even though some shit happened to them in June, which we'll talk about later. For overall, with the usual grading system with this, for both Arabians and Pintabians, the coats are a 10 out of 10, gates are a 10 out of 10, models a 10 out of 10, in real life model accuracy is a 10 out of 10, animations is a 10 out of 10, and the final score is 100 out of 100, meaning it's a 10 out of 10, just like my Gen 3 Shires. Highly recommend these again, and the Arabians, they're really well made, and it's good in a way we technically got a breed that's for once not shitty after the other 2 new breeds that we got with this game, so hallelujah. So really all these 2 weeks boil down to is that we don't really give a fuck about the Ranger Luis's race, yes I finally remember his name, and we only really came for the bell boots, the pastel tag, and the Pintabians. And that's really it for weeks 1 through 2. So now let's move on into my opinion, the best week of May, week 3. This week was actually really good. We got the first main story quest of the year, and this one surprised me a lot with how it went. So without further ado, let's get on to the recap. First, talk to Starshine, who's also with Meteor, and they talk about how they're waiting for Lisa so that they can have a girls' night. A horse and girls' night. Lisa comes in and basically she tasks you to get all this shit from building a pool to getting food and getting music so you can have your Impro 2 Ghetto Spa Day.
Take me into your fucking arms!
After doing all of that, Linda calls Lisa to tell you and her that the portal from the Life Warden was finally done, meaning it was finally time to head back to Fort Maria and go to Devil's Gap. So you, Lisa, Meteor, and Starshine wrap shit up and start heading over there. On the way there, you and Lisa have a bonding moment of doing military cadet shit SSO style, and Lisa almost got spicy and almost said the word ass before the game had to censor her faster than SSO's chat filter could ever be.
Yeet, yeet, skirt, yeet, yeet, skirt, 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 roll up, yeet, jump that, yeet, skirt that, yeet, pop that, yeet, hey, 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 hey. You never loved me, Mom, but I needed you, whoa, yeah.
Once you finally reach Fort Maria, Linda again gives you the option to recap on what happened last time and gets down to business on how the hell we're supposed to get to Devil's Gap. Based on what we've known from the research and rune shit, Linda deduces that we get there by using the power of friendship and combining our powers to get through the portal, so you all go try it on the portal by tuning it, and on the other side, you see this gorgeous, beautiful root path hallway called the Wildweave. Y'all need to understand that I could not stop saying how gorgeous this area was. Like, it's so fucking pretty. The lighting's gorgeous. The horses outside of Fort Maria also got pulled in as well, so now that everyone's together, you make it down the path while dodging a bunch of balls of magic into the next portal, and bippity boppity fucking boo, you finally make it to Devil's Gap. finally, after fucking over 8 years, we finally got to go into this godforsaken place that got blocked in by the wooden doors of Jarlaheim. Jesus Christ. Y'all start working to find Alex, Anne, Concord, and Miss Holdsworth, and after getting fireflies to light the way and dodging SSO's version of glow-in-the-dark hornets and climbing cliffs, you find them with Sif the Vala Witch. Sif then does a YouTube face reveal and explains to everyone that there is a way to grow up Concord in a ritual. However, in order to do so, they need to do a bunch of shit. First, Sif sends all the Soul Riders and yourself to go to this hallway cave spring shit to be faced with spiritual shit. With what you see, you basically see a ghost version of Kaja and Mr. Sands talk about trying to get the 4th general of the Dark Riders and claim they'll finally be complete and start constructing a gate of some sort. Then a dark-ass wraith version of you calls out to you, and after trying to follow them, they disappear.
There can only be one tree in this house, bitch. And that tree is me.
Bitch, I hope the fuck you do. You'll be a dead son of a bitch, I tell you that.
After looking into the pool, nothing happened, so you leave the cave. Once everyone was out, everyone goes into detail on what they saw. Alex said she saw Elizabeth but couldn't remember what she exactly said. Lisa felt a motivational presence in the cave and saw a reflection of herself in a different life without her scars. And Linda saw Mr. Sands with tentacles and an evil halo. Alex asked, what did you see? And you can choose between Mr. Sands, Elizabeth for some reason even though you didn't even see her, Catherine, or yourself. I said myself, since small theory time, I think that's all the bad thoughts or traits we thought were bad within ourselves that we think doesn't make us perfect or not acceptable. But also I think it was also telling the future of maybe potentially getting manipulated and having more chaos shit. But if y'all got theories of this, let me know in the comments down below. Sif then directs you to go get a mask from the crows we beat the shit out of last year, and after giving them the SSO version of Cheeto Puffs, they give you this big ol' wooden mask. The final step was then for Anne to recount all the memories she had with the old Concord before he died, including the bad stuff, so that the Concord we have now still felt like the Concord she knows and loves today. So you help Anne go down memory lane and recount memories from dressage competitions, stuff they did together at the stables, stuff like that. After that, Sif instructs everyone to put on their masks so she can recite a big ass ritual poem. But my dumbass forgot to put this shit on, but it went on anyway, so nothing happened with that. I thought it was gonna put on the mask automatically, okay? I thought that's what was gonna happen, but no. It just had me without a mask on. And after a bunch of praising to the Lord, hoping that it could engross the power into baby Concord, and after a bunch of bippity boppity boos, Concord is finally grown up. This damn child full is a gorgeous, hot mare. Jesus, this took too long. And she got tattooed somehow, so you gotta buy one, get one free deal. After a happy, tearful reunion, we then see a Pandoric Calamity Ganon Gunk tornado appear, and Sif urges you to escape while she holds it off.
Oh my god! A tornado is forming! Bye!
So in this badass fun race of dodging shit, breaking through shit, and running away, you escape the Pandoric tornado shit from Devil's Gap, and you basically survive whatever the fuck this Calamity Ganon-esque tornado is. Then Concord mentions she basically has all the memories from old Concord, and after that, everyone celebrates. Then everyone discovers that the Life Horn is now this big-ass, gorgeous, beautiful tree. So then Mrs. Holdsworth took a family picture in front of it, and now the plan was to finally work towards defeating Garnock.
Yeah, get into it!
Suddenly, Yidris pops up saying that the Pandoric tornado is gonna cause shit to fall apart, even though he doesn't know Sif is dealing with holding it off right now. And then after that, everyone goes on their separate ways to chill and relax and reconcile any memories and that sort of shit until the next quest. Or so we thought. The final scene cuts to Sabine and Sif talking, revealing how the Dark Riders running into the Soul Riders from the last main quest beforehand, with the tornado and doing the portal escape shit, was all a ploy to trick the Soul Riders so that Sabine could get directions to find the 4th Dark Rider.
Y'all are going to jail! Period!
God damn. I knew this bitch was fishy, but damn, it went this fucking far? Jesus Christ. Sif then directs Sabine to the location of where the first Dark Rider is, while giving her Galliper Thompson's hammer, the Splitting Maw, which is supposed to be a key and hints that basically she's stuck in some time and space bramble shit. So now y'all are gonna link the shit we know from Halloween to the main story? God damn, the lore ate with no crumbs left today, sis. Sabine also remarks how Galliper Thompson was stupid for falling for Sif's immortality shit, which also indicates that Sif is also basically the type of person that likes to stir up anything and play both sides. My god. Sabine then tries to ask for Sif to join them in forces again, but Sif refuses because she basically sees everyone as interlopers at this point. Sabine says if Sif ever changes her mind, a spot is always open for her to join. Sif then says the Vol Witches thrive on Pandora shit and chaos, hinting that as long as the crusty Dark Riders and the Soul Riders fight each other, they're powerful as fuck. And as the scene fades, that concludes the main story quest. God damn, we have a lot to unpack. So for once, this main story quest actually has a lot of good shit in here compared to the cons, to the point where I can confidently say I fucking love this quest. First, we're gonna start off with the pros, which is a lot for once. I know, this is different compared to a lot of the other videos I've done. For starters, the new areas with Devil's Gap and the Wild Reef are phenomenal. Devil's Gap was exactly how I expected it to be, with it being like ravine shit, dark, having some mystical shit. It was va-va-voom and good shit. And as I stated earlier, Wild Reef probably has the best lighting ever in SSO areas personally. Next, I actually really enjoyed the dialogue in this quest for once. Even the ghetto spa segment, it even made me chuckle a lot, and for once, it didn't make me feel like I was an errand girl in another quest. Next, I loved the cutscenes and the lore in all of this, because now we got this reveal that the Vol Witches are essentially anti-heroes in all of this. The damn Pokemon trainer kid coming soon, Concord's glow up scene, just everything was mwah, chef's kiss, mwah, mwah, mwah. Next, the music was so good. If you did not play this with audio, what is wrong with you? You need to go back and watch this shit with the audio. It adds everything together, just makes it good. It's just fucking amazing. I also gotta say that also, especially during the race, the music was also very fucking good. Same with the cutscenes. And finally, speaking of the race was so much fun. I haven't felt that much of like, oh my god, this is badass in a wild race in years. So good job, SSO. We finally hit the mark on the races after a long ass time in terms of the quest races. And it actually felt like we also, with these races, we actually knew where we were supposed to go and not be wondering like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? Where's the checkpoint? And also, it wasn't buggy as fuck. Hallelujah. Now, onto the cons, which for the first time, there's really only one con on here. And that is, my only gripe with this quest was that it did rush a little bit at the end after escaping the chaotic Pandora tornado shit, since it was kind of odd how it abruptly ended with everyone just like, nah, let's just go on our separate ways, do some stuff beforehand. Alright, bye guys. That's just my only gripe with that, to be fair with you. And also, besides that, everything was stellar, so this is really the only con that I can really think of. And as for the score on this, I am proudly gonna give this quest a 9 out of 10. Good job, SSO. This was actually good, and it was a very well-written quest. The lore was good, the whole quest felt engaging, and for the first time in a while, a quest actually felt so memorable after finishing it. This has probably been the most memorable quest we had in a while, probably, I think, since the Saving On quest, so good job. Besides this, we had the return of the bazaar with horses on sale, except they changed to where breeds change every week, but it's only gonna be there for 1 week. So basically, any new breed coming to the bazaar, the old breed is leaving. Such a sad day. So this week, it's the Appaloozas and the Pertrons. They also permanently discounted some items and dog pets in there.
Well, it was so fucking expensive as fuck.
But I do gotta say, the clothes selection this time got a little bit better this time. Just they still threw in some ugly ass, bright ass western colored shit. Y'all need to start putting in some more natural color shit in the western territory that are affordable. Most of this was ugly. finally, we had a very fun bug that I like to call the weed-selling Jorvik Shilling Rush bug. This bug was another Jorvik Shillings bug where basically the flax and rubia were bugged with actually selling for a shit ton of money. And for the first time in a while, people started to invest time in getting as much flax and rubia as possible to sell and get a lot of shit. So basically, my indirect joke of Pandora weed and being sold and shit actually became true. Some stacks have actually accumulated to over 10k, y'all, and this was huge. However, like all Jorvik Shillings bugs, this shit was fixed faster than the fucking bugs in this game that are not Jorvik Shillings related, because some people, a few days in it, decided to snitch about it on fucking social media. Listen, y'all need to understand that the number one rule when it comes to bugs that give you money, or in terms of getting you shit for free, don't snitch so early. We want this shit to last like at least like a week, not a few days, y'all. And also probably didn't help since people showed it in videos and shit, so it once again showed that SSO's inflated prices are so bad to the point where we're depending on damn Jorvik Shilling bugs, like we're winning a fucking lot of money on Family Feud. All of this was really good so far, right?
Yeah.
Well, that didn't last for a long time, because the storm cloud started to loom over, and before we knew it, the new UI was coming. So before getting to the last 2 weeks with the new UI taking the stage, I'm gonna do something like I did similar to the character beta test, except this time it's the UI update, and that's gonna probably happen with the updated characters as well in June. So we're gonna first start off by going over what we've known so far about the process behind the creation of this potentially shitty new UI, as well as the horse progression update. For those of you who don't know or have forgotten how all this debacle started back in January of this year, SSO Game Masters and some ambassadors have revealed the beta test of the new UI and a new function come to the game called horse progression. Horse progression was supposed to be this big thing that helps breathe more life into the horses that we buy in this game and to properly start building a bond with our horse, quote unquote, while the new UI was supposed to be a huge improvement to the old UI. However, once the beta test footage was shown, a lot of issues were spotted in both the new UI and horse progression. For starters, the new UI was very minimalistic compared to how bright and alive the old UI was, and the new UI felt like it was very mobile-like due to how many buttons were shown. People also didn't like the way the layout of everything was, along with how they hid the horse XP bar, the way the chat looked, etc. As for the horse progression, people only really liked how we could whistle for our horse and also have our horse follow us. In fact, there was more ways to get XP either through horse care or some other shit. As for the negatives, yeah, there's a lot. Leading, special gates, and special moves were now locked behind levels, which, by the way, we had to pay for leading back in the day, y'all, for about 125 star coins. And remember, y'all, SSO's very stingy with refunds, so you bet your biffy ass they probably ain't gonna refund these star coins either.
I just don't know.
Okay, well, honey, we'll circle back tomorrow.
Okay, sounds
Don't worry.
good.
All right,
Goodbye.
have a good day. Goodbye.
Yeah.
That bitch is crazy.
Special Moment didn't really do anything besides give us horse XP, and the rewards were just all recycled, and maxing a horse only gives a golden plate that looks like peanut butter spray paint with gold spray paint. There was also a lot of other issues which we'll get into as we go in deeper, but to get a general idea on this, a lot of people were wary about the new UI and horse progression update. Fast forward to May, SSO stated they have made changes and taken feedback into account, while in the same breath admitting they ignore feedback. Are we even surprised at this point that they do this? And they also said that the screenshots in the article aren't final. They also said they plan to add more customization to it, but only after its release. Good job, SSO. Totally the right move instead of waiting till you actually finish this UI. Good job. I also did a final poll on this before the impending doom that came the next day on this, and whoo boy, it was spicy. First question I asked, how do we feel about the UI and horse progression now? 46% said they're still unsure, 35% said we're screwed as fuck, and 18% said they're still hopeful. Already this damn blog has now raised more questions about this shit, Jesus Christ. And my last question I asked was, were there any more thoughts people want to share in regards about if they did anything with changing the UI and and horse progression. This was also mixed in with like some responses for like another section that we're going to talk about later, but we're just going to pull out the ones relating to the UI. The responses were mainly hoping to God it doesn't break the game, that it was actually good and not bad, and getting ready to brace for the worst, and already knowing bugs gonna be every damn where, and then mixed with more hopeful responses with liking features coming into this as well. So to conclude further on this, every damn buddy, including myself, was either hoping to God this doesn't flop, or that it's actually good, or we already were barring that this shit was gonna be shitty as fuck and fall apart. And before we all knew it, the horse progression in new UI had arrived. Like anything in SSO, shit can never go on without any chaos in this game. So first off, week 4 is the week this damn new UI and horse progression shit touched the game. And do you think, after all the constant pleading in the comments, begging SSO to please hold off on the new UI and change some shit about the UI that they had beta, and that they for once did shit and make actual good changes, did the UI get saved and changed for the better? Hell fucking nah. So like in April, I did a live reaction to the new UI and horse progression, and oh Lord Jesus! Just a heads up, be warned that here I actually get a bit loud, cause my ass turned into a cackling bird screeching at 7 to 8 a.m. my time zone in the morning, and somehow that didn't wake anyone up in my apartment. So with that being said, headphone users, this is like your last chance to save your ears, unless if I actually do a very good job in not making this shit too loud. But still, make sure you save your ears, cause I became a literal damn eagle screeching like I was actually gonna fucking die and shit. And I also had my typical donkey wheeze in there, so there's that there too. But basically, by the end of this, my ass was on the floor questioning the reality of it all. Hi, y'all. It is now 7:25 a.m. I just did an Instagram story telling y'all I'm about to go into this shit, and I skimmed through the article and I looked at, mainly thoroughly read what was in the bazaar today, and so far all I know is oh god, I'm already seeing like a small snippet on the launcher here, but basically from what I'm getting at, they didn't do shit since fucking January. I'm convinced they just now wrote that in their article saying they made changes, when in actuality they have just started to. Oh god, I hate this so much. I haven't looked at any comments. I saw the comment numbers on like Instagram and it was fucking huge. And then one of y'all told me that right now their double star coins are bugged. And I like to add y'all, this is the first time double star coins have been bugged.
Right now, people are losing their shit.
So without further ado, let's go on into this UI and shit. Oh, hell! Now they made the whole damn picture big! Am I frozen? Okay, I'm not frozen. Oh. Oh! Oh, hell! 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 Oh, oh, I'm broken. Okay, yeah. Well, for starters, the only thing I like about on my screen, probably my mouse. I can be fine with my mouse. I would just wish it was filled in with a different color or something, not this. It kind of giving off like some mobile game shit. I can't even talk. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? fuck is this? What am I looking at? What am I looking at? No, honey. So, that's the news, but... Y'all, I can't even click on the news button no more. I can't even go back and see what announcements do I have to look at today. I can't even go back and look at that. That's photo mode. Why is the mail up here? We have my message. Okay. Look at this. Now when I open this, I can't even see my fucking map that well. Now imagine if there's like messages here. As in telling you, hey, you have this champ, you have this champ, you have this champ, you have this champ. Now I'm not gonna be able to see that shit while I'm running. Okay, inventory. Oh, can I move it? Okay, thank God I can fucking move my... Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, hell. It is everything I thought it was gonna be. It's already a piece of shit. It's giving mobile game. It's giving mobile game. So we have settings here. That's how you call for pickup now. If you want to go, you gotta hit the settings wheel. That's the global score. Doesn't really match the UI at all. Alright, that's my friends list. That's my collections. There's my writing club. And there's my quest log. And we already established this is my inventory. So this is our radio menu. So now you're not gonna be able to know if you care for your horse. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Usually it'd be right here telling you, hey, you should care for your horse. This shouldn't be hidden. This should be right here. Okay, radio. Okay, so you can call for pickup here, and this not here. Do your special trick. Woo! It's shit that we have recycled before. Oh my god. And then I have to click here again. Oh my fucking god. Your special movement. Oh. I have to walk and do it. There you go. There you go. I'm flabbergasted. I'm not even doing my special moves right no more. So then we have here is shared moment is not yet available. Wow. And you can pat your horse. Just the idle animation that we have that already does that on ourselves. Look, I'm not even touching it and she's patting my horse. And then there's a button here now to change my horse's coat. Okay, now how the fuck do I get to this horse progression shit so I can see what the fuck this shit looks like? Okay. Oh, Jesus. So... Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. So we have a spark of a connection. Amethyst heart can sense your equestrian spirit and allows you to ride. May also house this horse in a stall in your home stable. Congrats, Daniella. This is just the beginning of a new adventure. This is the horse level up screen. Here, you can see new skills your horse learns as it levels up. Press the purple highlight icon to see what your horse will learn. But she can already learn everything. So they moved the ability to lead rope here. When the thing is, y'all, we had to pay for this shit. This is like either 125 star coins or 135 star coins.
Emotional, damn it!
That is not cheap star coins. That is a lot of damn star coins for a fucking feature. And we all know damn well they ain't refunding this shit. What is this? Bonding. Okay. Companionship. Ooh. Companionship. I would like to see that more. Like, you know, like an actual trust bar or something. No, we don't got that. More bonding. And then we have the fall state commands at level 7. More bonding, oh, yes. Friendship! Oh, wow, friendship. Friendship that I don't even really see much on my damn screen. Right now I'm seeing what I usually see when I play. And we have more bonding. We have the call command. It's about damn time. You have to press the U key on the keyboard. Okay. We have more bonding. We have a soul bond at 13. Oh god, we have it. More more bonding, and then we get a ghost stable plate. Okay, let me go into my home stable since we're right here. Oh my god, oh my god. Horses that reach their max level are rewarded with a golden nameplate on their horse box in your stable. It has no impact on how the horse performs, so this is basically useless. It's just a way to celebrate that they've reached their full potential, and the golden nameplates can be turned off in the setting. Oh god. Oh. And look, now my fucking stable care is right here. Ah, just what I wanted.
That is not correct.
Oh god, let me look at this chat. Oh Jesus. That's the new emote buttons. What's Global gotta say about this? This creature ain't share its moment with it's everywhere! It is exactly what I thought it was gonna be, unfinished piece of shit! Oh well, oh no. I'm scared. Oh Jesus, oh no. This is ridiculous! This is ridiculous! I lost my mind when I saw the bonding. If you even call it bonding, this ain't bonding! You don't really bond! I lost my mind, but we don't really bond! Wait until y'all see what happens when you wait till it doesn't respond to the whistle. Mount, enter your home stable, and dismount.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
What? Riley, so not even the... Like, so not even the whistle works? I can't believe I'm getting shot on the fucking video right now. It's legit just what you have and two features that barely work! I knew this was gonna be bad. And still, I'm surprised. Nah, man, watch this. Oh no, I'm fucking scared. We're gonna test this on outside first. And then we're gonna go get a horse to test this. Okay, let me test this out. So, let's see. Let me go really far first. I say decent enough. And Aja should be able to come over here, right? Oh my god. Whistle. Oh my god, this shit is buggy as fuck. Riley wasn't kidding! Can you at least follow me? Please do that.
Oh! He needs some milk!
She's stuck! She's stuck! She's stuck! Oh my god, I'm dead! I need to show this to the world right now! Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back to Bug Staple today. Today we're going to show you why this shit is buggy as hell. First off, let me show you in this beautiful demonstration. So, you know this new follow and call command? Yeah, this shit don't work. So, we're gonna start with the call command here first. So, I want my girl Aja, sweet baby Aja, to come over here, right? Also, this UI is a piece of shit, by the way. I want to come her here, right? So, I want to... I found a bug within a bug! I can't even call my horse no more! I can't even call my horse! I need to go! I can't even call my... Wait! Okay, after I almost shat myself from this damn UI. So I want her to whistle my horse, right? She doesn't even come. That ain't even the worst part. That ain't even the worst part. She not even coming. Watch this, y'all. So, oh God, I just realized they put an itty bitty ass fucking. What is this? They put that again. Anyways. So I want my horse to follow me, right? I want my horse to follow me. Watch this. Come on, Aja. Come on. Look at this. Look at this. But y'all, that's not all. So as we can see, Aja is still planted, right? So this is what happens when, I'm gonna just put my phone down here for a little bit. So I pop out of my menu. This is Odyssey open. Hello, Odyssey. Now this is what happens when I go back in. She doesn't follow you. She teleports. You want your horse right here? You gotta pop out of your game. This is so buggy. I knew this shit was gonna be buggy. And look where we got. Temporarily go. Look at this. It fucking can't be cold right now, even though I'm far away. It flickers in and out. Look at fucking. That's what the damn ambassadors and she did to figure this shit out. This shit ain't working. Her horse isn't going. Mine isn't going. This shit is going to hell. Sheila, she can't even. What is that? Her Belgian can't even follow. Her Belgian can't even follow. Oh, look, she's trying again too. She's trying, but my ass don't stand well. Girl, this shit don't work. This broke. This is broke. That's a cute outfit though, but this shit's broke. Shared moment. Amethyst's belly seems extra full, even though I haven't cared for her at all yet. Check to make sure that Amethyst hasn't found some way to sneak food. You should probably call the vet in case this is a sign of sickness. Consider giving less food and monitoring Amethyst for a bit. Okay, let's monitor. This don't even do anything! I don't even feel like I shared a moment. Nothing was cute. It was just a robotic moment. Oh Lord, let me look at this gates thing. So let's see. Walk. Does it go away? Please go away. I don't want to look at this right here. That's very annoying. Oh God, now I'm gonna have to record all my damn videos without the UI showing. Fuck me. It's not going away. Okay, try it. Canter? It's not even disappearing. I'll just gallop. Let's just full. So look at this. Gallop, fast gallop, faster gallop. There's actually fucking 6 gates, not 5. Not 5, 6. No. I found 4 seconds. 2 already. Mission. We're just so follow. Yes, not working. I'm sorry I have to pull on this. AC. Oh God. The other 2. I'm fucking pulling out shit though! Oh God! I just look at this is why I don't text and run. And I do. It is. I can't even. I have the commands. Wait, but I can only do a special moment. Getting off my horse. That's not all. This button appears, but faded on foot. This is a mess, and we all need holy water from this. I went to go get on my lippy, and
Why are you running? Why are you running?
What? I'm gonna just talk here for a sec. I absolutely despise the way the gates just thing. It don't go away. I don't want it right here. I want it over here. The reason why I'm hating this is because literally when I film for videos, if I'm like, y'all know when I do skits of like galloping and shit, I don't like seeing the gate wheel like that. Oh, this is a mess. Oh, this is a mess. Oh, this is a mess. So I want to test how quickly does it take you to level your horse. So we're gonna cut to Zar. We're gonna get a new Shire because I'm just like, what the fuck? We're gonna get this Shire. He's gonna be used for something later, but right now his name's Owl King. Bless his heart. So, I'm gonna get this Shire. Switch to my Shire. I'm gonna test out this horse progression shit. With also this UI, my head's fucking hurting. I have my blue light glasses on, and it's somewhat lessening it, but I guarantee if I had my prescription glasses on, my head would be fucking hurting. Just, ooh, Lord, my God, this is so bad! Yay! That's the only good thing I got from this is that I get a baby that I wanted. I was gonna test this on a halflinger, but I just gotta wait another week or so and I should be able to get a halflinger just fine. Anyways, back to my home stable. Woo! Alright, y'all, so I had to change outfits because basically my Shire couldn't wear my saddle pads. According to this thing right here, I can't even go to a very fast gallop. I am just stuck where I am. So, this is a spark of a connection. Woo. Let's start with this. Oh god, they put fucking sparkles and shit. Level up horse. Woo-wee. I have to manually now click to level up. Why? Oh, this is too extra. Oh, this is too extra. As you can see here, we also can't do special gates. And in this case, the special move for a Shire is laying down. Can't do it at all. Until, what level? What level? 7! I just don't get why would you lock it on if you're gonna lock it anyway. Just like, why? Oh, God. We need to try a champ. We need to try a champ. I'm only happy I'm getting XP from this. That's it. Oh!
I am disgusted.
Oh, my baby! He tried to wave, right? Why his leg look like a rotisserie chicken drumstick? Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't. Oh, God. This champ's in 15 minutes, so I'm gonna cut to the champ. And then you're gonna get used to Lord Jesus. You can get rid of it. Let me look at the settings here. Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I am not looking at that ever again. Thank you. Thank you. Just thank you. Oh God. Until you change it back or let us be able to move it to like here, I don't want it on my horse's legs. Thank you. I still hate this to the Lord. Look at, I can't. Thank you, Gun. Bless you, Gun. Gun, bless you. Bless you, sweetheart. Bless you. I'm like spiraling. What time is the champ right now? What time is the champ right now? Oh, in 12 minutes. Okay, let's just go to the champ, y'all. Let's just go to the champ. We are at the champ. Look, there's not much people on here. We're all on hail. Oh my God, Rusty. This isn't doable. Oh God, I hate the chat bubbles. The chat bubbles are so bad. There's barely anyone here. Oh, hell! Oh, hell! Now I gotta scroll? This is... Hell no. No. No, honey, no. I can't believe I'm doing a champ while I'm talking. Because I'm just spiraling out of control. Now I can't even tell what place I'm in. I can't tell what place I'm at. I can't tell if I'm in 6 or anything. I can't tell. Because they made this so shitly. Oh God, oh Jesus, oh Jesus, oh Jesus. To pass the time on this, because I'm just essentially doing a race at this point. This is pure hell. Whoever thought of this as a UI needs to be fired. They need to go look at some actual good UIs and understand why we loved the horseshoe UI. This is just horrible. Because here's the thing. It's not just because I don't like it because it doesn't feel like SSO anymore. I just don't like the way it's set up and I don't like the transparency. It's too basic. It ain't even cute. I hate how they have the gates wheel now. I just don't like it. I hate the way the group looks. God, my eyeballs. I can't. My eyes fucking hurt. Okay, I was on 9th. That's not bad. Still top 10. Oh, hell, it's all people. Once again, this is too extra. This is 2 extra for me. Oh, hell, I have to do the button. Yay, I can lead my horse that I paid 135 star coins for.
Yay.
Alright, y'all. We are now at Dino Valley. Well, the entrance. And already, this looks like hell and I'm not even in the snow. Well, let's just go in the snow. Maybe it'll all be okay. Oh, Lord. Ugh. Now, my question is, why is my riding cloth thing faded? Okay, never mind. It's not. It's faded for no reason. Oh, Jesus, help. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
In the arms of a painter for that bird.
So, as I suspected, it's worse in the snow. I feel like I'm looking at white on white in some areas. Just because it's new and things move around doesn't make it bad, lol. Matilda, it's not progress if no one likes it. I can't believe what the fuck's happened in this whole entire day. I found 5 bugs within the first 25 minutes or so checking this damn thing out, and they released it like this. It just feels mobile game like it just feels lazy. I haven't hollered that loud on how shit an update is in a while. I think the last time I kept like fucking wheezing and hollering and shit was the fucking character beta from last year and how Halloween's been. So, in conclusion, this UI is a piece of shit. SSO, thank you for almost giving me a damn headache. Right now I am all over the place. I really I just hate this update so much. I was dreading this update ever since I saw it was coming here. And I guarantee you they probably released this after the main story quest last week just so that it can be a band-aid. But I didn't see it in the end. This is the same exact shit from January, and we like literally gave you feedback when you had your game masters and your ambassadors do videos. In a live stream, one of them did a live stream, Game Master Esme did a live stream, and there was feedback all in that comment stuff, and apparently y'all didn't take any of it into consideration, which makes me wonder when you're gonna do the fucking characters in June. You probably didn't take much of it. I want to burn this damn UI. Whoever thought of this UI again needs to be fired. This is ridiculous. I was already under the impression that it was gonna be a piece of shit, and I was right. What I didn't expect was finding this many bugs that quickly in a time span. I knew there was gonna be buggy as fuck, but not like this. I didn't expect to see global spiraling out of control and shit. Perfectly describes it here. Seamless mobile, too choppy, and I have to click for special moves. It's stupid. We did this just fine with just hitting spacebar and it working. Honestly, I can't do it right now because I'm level 3. I can't do this shit anymore. What the fuck is... Now I can do a special moment. It's like, what is a special moment that's gonna give me 120 XP? Owl King has been getting jealous when we spend time with other horses lately. There's enough love to go around. Make sure to spend a little extra quality time with Owl King to show that you still care. This is unacceptable. Owl King needs to learn that you have other horse friends. Never be toxic. Stop spending time with other horses. Owl King is your best friend after all. Yay! Special moment. The horse is just gonna keep really shaking. Just... Lord. Are you gonna... chill? Thank you. Maybe he was fucking shaking because he can't deal with this UI either. I can't deal with it either. I can't look at my news no more. And also someone said in Global that this looked like a bird vomiting. I agree. I can just look at my mail. Message history, that's a clusterfuck. That's my quest log and that is shit. Just why? I want my old UI back. I don't want this UI anymore. I want my old one. Just no. I hate this. And all y'all, I know there's gonna be whiteness saying, you'll get used to it. here's the thing, honey. We can get used to it, but still hate it. You may be getting used to just adapting, but you're gonna still have that feeling inside where you are still pissed off. Alright, so we're now gonna cut back to Future Me. I hope y'all are fine with me hollering and shit, because honestly, I'm spiraling. I'm still spiraling. I'm gonna try to get him up to at least fucking... what's a good level to do this? At least level 7. And then I'm actually, yeah, or it's just something, I just need therapy or something. Well, not therapy, I actually, no, I need not just therapy, I need holy water again. I'm gonna, I honestly might just take a break. Yeah, I might just take a break. I'm gonna look at, like, social media. This is ridiculous. Okay, bye. So, this update was a mess. But that wasn't even the end of it. If you think nothing on social media happened because of this UI, y'all got another thing coming, because just like a damn storm, this shit blew the hell up.
I am disgusted.
Oh, Lord Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Get the water, nigga!
He needs some milk.
Please, stop this madness. What do you want from me? What do you want? Please!
It was at this moment that she knew she fucked up.
So with that out of the way, let's get on to me actually reviewing this in a way where I'm not flabbergasted like I was in my reaction, where I actually had my thoughts together for one. So starting off with the pros. First off, we got more XP opportunities, so that's always helpful. Next, when the whistle call command and the follow command actually work, they're really cute and helpful when doing dailies, chores, and other stuff. And the last pro is that I do like the portraits even though they're angled like a high school yearbook. That's the pros. Oh, you thought there was more?
Yeah.
Honey, look at the cons.
Boy, if you don't...
Yeah, we got a long list to go. First off, this damn UI is too transparent, which can affect the way you see shit. It's a lot worse in the snow, and this could also feel like shit blurs if you don't look at this shit carefully. Next, with putting this out unfinished, it's really noticeable with how now both styles from the old UI and some random windows clash with this UI. Next, the damn layout. Please let me put my map back in the lower right hand corner. It was perfect with the horseshoe. I knew where my shit was, and I didn't feel like it was cluttered. First, with also everything open along with the inventory that's kind of bulky, it feels like you're just surrounded by buttons you press. I also hate that my horse XP bar just basically randomly hides away and then reappears after I get XP, depending on if my horse is maxed or not. I would love to just see my horse rider XP bar just stay there, please, and not fade away after it's maxed, please. I also hate where my gates and dismount button is. I would like to move that, please, because now I have to basically hide it in the settings, and if my fucking X key doesn't fucking work for some odd reason, because that's another bug that's also happening, basically I would have to go through the fucking horse menu to get off my horse. It's just ridiculous. It's just way too much in my opinion. It just doesn't help that it just also looks like it's fucking smaller and shit, especially with the way this layout is. And honestly, I feel like this layout is just look like it's trying to be Genshin Impact's layout with the transparent look as well. But the thing is, the reason why Genshin Impact's layout works a lot better than SSO Shitty Attempt is because it's not crowded, doesn't feel mobile-like, you can see shit in the snow, it's not messy, it's still modern, and it's not lifeless. SSO's UI is now just feels like it's dead with no life in it, especially since the only colorful thing on here is really like the map and maybe the portraits. Everything else feels way too mobile and minimalistic. Next, the size of this is actually pretty small, and even when you change shit in the options, since the preset sizes don't really do much to the UI, since at least in my case, I think it just doesn't care to all monitors since it's been a mixture of people's scaling looks fine, while some just get fucked up completely. And because of this, the sizes actually gave me a fucking headache in waves due to the way the layout was and just the size of everything along with the transparency, especially with words like in the chat. As of right now, it was mainly I had to look at something else, but from what I've seen, it's mainly trying to just look at the middle, especially when writing, to at least not have headaches with this. This also affected some friends of mine, with one of my friends who has some eye issues, which before this update, the UI didn't affect them, but after the update, specifically because of the size of the text, it basically for them caused shit to just get blurry to the point of needing to log off because it was giving them a headache. And they also experienced like shit disappearing on the screen during races and other sizes, which just led to going back to the normal size and having to fend for themselves. I just feel like this wasn't really a user-friendly UI, and it shows a lot more in some of the comments in the comment wave because there's people that actually struggle with this or felt way too overly stimulated because of the crowded and clutterness, as I mentioned earlier, from especially with how people predicted this shit was gonna happen in the beta test. Next, not everything in this game needs a hotkey. SSO, we don't need 2 hotkeys for inventory. Y'all, I'm on here again because I'm getting shit to do my version of the UI. I just discovered, so one of my friends was like, I hope they didn't get rid of the I button for the inventory, because Game Master Aurora put out a list of hotkeys and said that now the backpack is for B. Well, y'all, see, look, I'm not kidding. So I press B, it pulls it up, right? Now watch what happens when I hit I. Oh wait, shit, that's O. Now watch what happens when I hit I. It's the same button! It's the same button! They can't even pick they can't even pick the same button! The more I discover this UI, the more I'm going insane. We also don't need to have one for the store, the mail, and some other shit. Literally, I'm fine with just clicking buttons for that. Literally, the only hotkeys that you really need is like the quest log, character stuff, friends list, and maybe like some other minor shit, but that's really it. But not everything needs a damn hotkey. Literally, E was fine on our horse. You didn't need to all of a sudden make it a Q key. Not only that, we don't need this many buttons to get to this shit like the special moment. There's literally, I think, 3 to 4 ways to call for pickup. Just have one way that's nice and easy, not 4. And also, like, I get that you wanted to make this more convenient, but why the hell do I want to tap my N key to open my mailbox when I could just go click on the key? Same with my club menu. Why do I want to use the G key to open up my club menu when I can just click the button that's right there instead of having to search for the hotkey? Like, honestly, I'm not going to be surprised if really anybody uses all these damn hotkeys. And also, I don't think a lot of people even remember these fucking hotkeys, even though you gave a damn list either. Next, speaking of the call for pickup change, I don't really need a confirmation thing when I want to call for pickup. Maybe for the one that's like out in the open, that's in the menu, but not in like the call for pickup like escape thing. Just like I don't need this many damn like confirmations to say like, are you sure you want to move, bitch? If I click in the button, that's more likely meaning I want to get called for pickup. Like I gotta do like extra steps just to get picked up. It's just adding unnecessary steps personally. Next, horse progression is honestly really not rewarding. The only good thing about it is that you can see a model of your horse and you get the call command and the whistle command. But there's no actual like bonding bars, so this soul bond and like bond little add-ons at like the in-between levels don't do jack shit. Literally, all it does is just like locks behind your special moves and your special gates, and also even the fast gallop and the leading are now attainable with horse XP.
Emotional damage.
Honestly, I think instead they should have given the ability for our horses to learn new tricks that either we don't have on our horses already or learn them. Like for example, literally the Shires and the Jorvik Warmbloods and the Finn horses can all lay down, yet all the other horses can't. So why not let all the other horses learn how to lay down and like do other gates and special moves and stuff? It would have opened up a lot more to where horses can do multiple stuff, and this would probably also help with people's role plays a lot more, but no, we're stuck with basically that. And then you thought the best reward for us when maxing out a horse is a rinky dinky peanut butter golden nameplate that just does absolutely nothing besides being a cosmetic? Why not give us like an actual reward like money, clothes, tax, stuff like that? You're not Genshin Impact where after ascending your character and getting their friendship to level 10 you get a banner. You're not that SSO. Literally, this poses nothing other than like a cosmetic change. And even then, it's just not really cute and not really beneficial for us. Like, it doesn't benefit us in any way other than just changing the way our plate looks. I also feel like them making this fastest speed at level 13 kind of just destroys the max level feeling of being fast as fuck, since it's not tied into how they did with the stats adjustments they did back in February that fucked up everything. So it just feels like it's rearranging the way horse levels are at this point and not necessarily like a good way, which ties to my next point. I feel like now leveling up horses has gotten to a point where it feels like it's now used to force people to not just train but also go through horses really fast and buy more. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I've also seen people who either hate training or don't train much extremely despise this update solely because of how now gates, special moves, and special gates are, including leading your horse, are locked behind a level paywall. And I also feel like it's just kind of just again just a tactic to just get people to use their money to buy their horses. And it's also, I feel like it's just affected people to be less motivated when it comes to training, in all honesty. Next, I honestly really hate having to manually hit a level up button to level up my horse and then watch my horse do a glowing fart rear animation every time I level up a horse. Same with the random sparkle shit coming when you gain XP. It's just too much. I don't gotta do this every time when I level up my horse. It's honestly better if you do this at just like the max level, not every single damn time. There's also just no real purpose to stay on one level, because what's the point of staying on level 1 when I'd rather go to level 2 to get a faster gallop? Why would I want to stay on level 1 or level 2 or level 3 or level 4 or level 5? I'd rather just go to max level. What's the point of staying on them? I don't get any benefits from staying on level 1. All I get is that I'm just slow as fuck. Next, the damn special moment shit. Honey, all this is a robotic press a button to get horse XP simulator.
Hi, my name is...
We're not really bonding, and we're not actually like, gaining a bond with our horse and shit. Why couldn't this actually work out to doing activities with your horse and not some dialogue bubble with choosing an option that really doesn't change anything in the game? For example, the one where our horse gets spooked. I wish it showed our horse actually getting spooked and we actually calm them down and we have a trust and or calm meter, shit like that. Like we actually see our horse looking genuinely scared in the wild or something like that. Just some little things like that can make a horse more alive other than like the random owl animations you give a horse. And also this can literally have a chance of saying uncomfortable shit, by the way, or just straight up bug the fuck out. Like this is a mess.
You weird, buddy.
You're weird.
Speaking of bugs, this was, and even a little bit now, is buggy as fuck. As y'all saw, this shit was damn buggy. Besides the shit I experienced, people even glitched out of their stable because of a bug where if you whistled and didn't get to work, like you hopped in on your horse and dismounted after riding a bit, this shit teleports you all the way back.
You can dismount from there? That's new. What the heck just happened? Bro, what the dog doing? Hey yo buddy, doing good there?
Go crazy. Go stupid.
Oh my god, Star Stable, you're...
Go stupid. Go crazy.
I think I lost my horse.
And it's a hell of a lot worse if you do this in your stable, because if you do this in your stable, you teleport outside your home stable, and you're just basically stuck there, and the only way to get out is basically restarting the game.
Me just dismount. So just... Oh, cool. What just happened? Is that the old home stable? Oh, I picked a terrible day to stream Star Stable. What is going on?
Where the ambulance? Why the man body still right there? Ain't supposed to be laying there. Call the damn ambulance.
This should have waited, and this shouldn't have been rushed out, especially with how many bugs came with this update. And it just goes to show why they should have waited and made sure they not only had no bugs from it, but also added in the customization and make changes the majority asked for. Next, I feel like the icons are mixed for me, with some of them feeling like it's pixelated in terms of the quality, or they're basic, or they just look odd. Another issue I have with this in terms of like how some shit look in this game that I forgot to mention, I despise how groups look in this game now. Who thought this slider bar mess was better than what we had before?
Oh man, no man. What the hell? Oh my god, no way.
Now I can barely tell what place I am below 5 because I can barely see the 5th place in champs. Now we can't fucking tell. I get maybe like if you wanted it to fit on the chat, but literally this is not any better. It just feels really bulky, and I would have much rather preferred it be just like how it was before we had 10 people in the group and then add the little group at the bottom with your name if you're in a place that's lower than 10. Finally, to wrap up this whole shit, it wasn't really explained well personally, especially since the way the special moment was explained, and I only figured out how this shit worked by basically looking at what a game master said on social media, and they said it was supposed to happen about every 30 minutes. Literally, this is fucking ridiculous. Just again, it's just ridiculous. As usual, we got a poll in. Oh boy, it's a doozy. First question I asked, do you like the new UI? 67% said hell nah, 21% said I don't know, and 12% said yes. Yes, so when the majority hates the UI, this should have been a clear sign to revert shit back, or should have made more changes since the beta. Second question I asked, do you like the horse progression? And 52% said I don't know, 30% said hell nah, and 18% said yes. I think the main reason for this was mainly being really mixed in with the fact that because of how 1, there are bugs with the following and call command, and 2, it's just mainly recycling features we've had before and just rebranded to basically as the supposedly new rewards we could get when it doesn't really benefit us since most of it is recycled or not really worth it. Third question, what features do you like the most? And the results were people saying they like the horse teleportation call command, the shared moment, the follow command, the unlocking levels idea, the new loading screens, chat, new settings, added hotkeys, level up horse rear, discount horses, the concept, and some not sure, and my personal favorite, logging off. Fourth question, now what's your least favorite feature? And the responses were people mainly saying the UI, the layout, specifically the menu and the map, where they were placed, the bugs, shit being locked behind, especially the recycled shit, the 3 dots menu itself, shit not being in the same place, the horse getting XP and level up rear effects, too many damn hotkeys, the new group thing, the effects from the UI, specifically getting headaches from it, everything being a circle, logging in, and my personal favorite, everything. Second to last question. If there's something you want to change in this update, what would you change about it? And oh boy, the responses. Basically, they said, wishing the shared moment was more interactive, have the progression actually have progression, with, for example, skill trees, the design of the UI, delete the fucking UI we got in the end, add a walk and trot to the call command so it doesn't just almost run you over in a short distance, put the fucking map back in the lower right hand corner, add UI size sliders, have a way to switch back and forth from the old to the the new UI, which by the way, this is actually possible since in childhood MMOs like Wizard 101, they actually let you be able to switch back to the old graphics of Wizard 101, so it should be doable. Next, just move the placement of the inventory since it's too far out, which means fixing this menu button shit, fix the bugs, make the sounds of the horse progression less frequent, change the leading since this was a bot feature before this update, or just refund people the 125 star coins people paid for it, an updated version of the old UI, and not a whole new UI, add color options to the UI, change the icon so it doesn't feel mobile-like, don't recycle special moves behind a paywall that came with the horses, leave stuff the way they were since some changes were unnecessary, and people said they want to go fucking blind for the damn UI. Lord have mercy. And the final question with all this in mind, do you like the update overall as a whole? 51% said hell nah, 42% said I don't know, and 8% said yes. Meaning again, y'all, the majority of the people either despise the whole update or just feel unsure due to the issues of it, which extremely reflects and parallels extremely hard to the way the damn comment wave happened. Another thing to point out about the comment wave is that someone counted how many damn positive comments were in there, and out of the wave about 2,000 comments, if I had to put a guess on this percentage, 5% was positive and 95% hated the damn UI and have issues with how it is with the current features. This just shows on the social aspect that this update shook the community with the way this was executed, and as of right now the issues are still prevalent to this day. So now, before going into my conclusion on all this, let's talk about the aftermath of this historical event. Since the update of the UI, it sparked a wave of people making posts of edits that either entirely remake the new UI or pose new suggestions for the UI on how it should have been, and it received an overwhelming amount of support. I myself also did one of these posts, so real quick I'm going to talk about what I did before getting into what other people also suggested as well. So I made shit a lot more opaque and made two versions, a classic one that retains the old UI version and a modern version of the horseshoe, but it still uses a little bit of what the new one has right now. I also made the chat a little bigger in both versions, and also took time to recolor the icons to have the new white pictures, but have it on the horseshoe in the classic version and then its own button became the circle of the horseshoe in the modern version. So the reason I made two versions is so that if this was an actual thing, it caters to both people who wanted to keep the old UI and people who wanted a more modern one. I also gotta say to all of y'all who take the time to also do stuff like this a lot in those SSO idea posts, power to y'all, cause this shit took forever. I had one of my friends check it over and made adjustments cause this involved a lot of eyeballing and precision. The funny thing is, the more I worked on it, the more my headache decreased. I also adjusted the layout so that it doesn't feel like there's too many damn buttons everywhere for the most part, and then I made the text a little bit bigger to reduce the straining, and some other changes while also giving a written review on it as well. As for other posts, they either, as I said earlier, brought in some new features to like help expand more on the map, or they also brought up mainly again just that the main issue with the new UI is that it needs to be more opaque, shit was too small, you get the idea. Since this update, the only really change that they made was they fixed a bit of the news button, but it also broke a little bit, and they turned this blue dot into a red dot for the chat button, and that's really it in terms of changes. SSO did manage to fix the following call command issues, except some other bugs have risen, which will be discussed in the June video. People overall still got their gripes with the UI, and it's now turned into hoping SSO actually does add more customization options like they promised, but overall it also feels like SSO mainly used the horse pull results, which we'll discuss later, the horse bazaar, and the double star coin sale, even though that got slightly fucked up, to basically put all of this upset under the rug and basically just ignore it. I wish they had actually instead immediately get on to address when shit blows up like this, since they tend to hide in the positive comments and act like whatever happened yesterday doesn't exist, since in itself that's just exhausting as it is, since it's kind of just like a toxic friendship of constantly getting ignored. I think especially once we get into June, SSO's relationship with the community has evolved into not only a lot of doubt, but also a lot of grudges building up and getting ready to blow. Now to my concluding thoughts on this whole thing with the UI. Overall, this UI and horse progression was a mess, and because of the way this was executed along with how I felt with this UI, I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 10. Even though we get more horse XP opportunities, cute stuff like the following and call commands, this UI needs to burn from a fiery pitchfork and shame for not only being bland as fuck, but also just doesn't feel like it fits SSO as a whole. I also feel like with this update, horses are now extremely fast to train if someone stuck their mind to it. However, it also indirectly led to basically people getting demotivated due to the way horse progression now functions, especially with the way gates and special moves are being locked behind a wall. And paired with almost over 95% of the comments giving constructive criticism, along with not being a fan of the UI and horse progression itself, this was one of the shittiest updates, to be honest with y'all, since now it went from being user-friendly to not really being that friendly anymore and adding a system that's just recycled with low effort rewards that doesn't really feel rewarding nor helpful. The horse progression idea, again, could have been better if they had just added actual good rewards to it and also added more ways to get different tricks for all breeds and not moves we had before locked behind a wall. This just could have been a good addition to SSO to be able to let us actually bond with our horses and actually expand upon it since the beta with a lot of love and thought put into it. Compared to the way horse bonding is in games with horses like Breath of the Wild and Red Dead Redemption 2, there's actually a trust meter and the horses actually feel alive with not just how they react to what you do, but also the environment despite being games featuring horses. In terms of actual horse games, the best examples I can give you for horse games that have pretty good horse bonding is Pony Friends 2 and Pets Horse Club, aka Imagine Champion Rider in other countries. These games have pretty good dynamics in horse bonding because of both of them being similar with giving horses their favorite treats, a trust in or a stress meter, what kind of personality they have, and where they like to be petted. Pony Friends 2 expands a little more with having to also find out what spots horses hate the most to be petted and what treats they hate as well, while Pets Horse Club expands more in a sense of taming wild horses in a way. In other words, how to bond with your horse, even have instances where you can't make any sudden movements with your mouth to not spook the horse, stuff like that. For their time, these two horse games actually made the horses feel alive and that you were actually bonding with them as you progress in the game. Now in some newer horse games, they also got some of these mechanics in games like Rancher Rivershine, sort of, which is, by the way, is another video that is also getting worked on when I get the chance. Shit's getting very backed up over here at the Daniella Moonstar industry, y'all. Or in planning phases of games still in development like Astride, even though that's another video to talk about since shit happened with the early access, that's also planning bonding in a way. SSO's idea of horse bonding as of right now is just clicking a button and get horse XP. That's not bonding SSO, that's just a click to get more horse XP button. I just wish we could have had the chance to have this expand on, with horses having different personalities, favorite things, least favorite things, stuff like that. Then maybe these horses can actually start to feel more than just being a cosmetic item in your stable that has to feel alive through the works of role plays, art, and or movies. Jesus Christ, this was a lot to talk about for something that has happened in a week. Jesus. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's finally get back to actually talking about what else happened in weeks 4 through 5. As you saw in the bazaar, they had the Shires and American Quarter Horses for sale in week 4, and then week 5 just had a Horses of Europe race that no one really gave a shit about. Then the
oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
Not again. The nasty crackhead Dragon Frisians had a rerun once again with these horses and with the Gen 3 Frisians in general. Avoid these like the plague. I don't care if your club wants them. Avoid them like the plague. Please avoid them like the plague. And then finally, for the 4th week, they finally had my halflingers on sale. And for those wondering if I finally did get a halflinger, yes, I finally did buy one. love you, Buttercup. You're just adorable. This was my favorite coat out of the whole batch of halflingers, so I wanted to get this one first, and she's been on my list for a while, so there you go. In this same week, they also have the American Paint horses on sale as well, and that basically concludes all the shit that happened in game. Why was there so much this week and all the other weeks? I don't know. It just did. Now let's move on to the stuff that happened outside of the game. And if you thought this was a lot for the in-game portion, oh boy, let me tell you, this shit got even spicier outside of the game. We're gonna go into the game blog a bit later because the transition for that is to transition into another section that was also big that happened this month. Let's start off with the portion on more bugs and another customer service related issue that happened because somehow this related to each other somehow. I don't know how, I just did. So the bugs from April actually carried on into May for a bit, but 3 bugs in particular were the main star of this month besides the plant selling one that I mentioned earlier. The stuck cows and sheep, teleportation to unlimited rider XP, and changing cars. Yeah, we'll get more on to that last one later. First off, the stuck cows and sheep bug. For those of you who remember the stuff in April, if not, check out April's Walmart review so you can get a general gist on how this shit happened. This basically had flowed into May, and what happened was during the 4th week of the Equestrian Festival, the sheep and cows for herding were bugged in both Starshine Ranch and the Equestrian Festival, where they basically get stuck after taking a few steps and can only really spin really slowly. SSO said they'd fix it after the festival ends. However, it was still broken during the 1st week of May. When people asked SSO on social media again if it was getting fixed, they then had the audacity to say it'll be fixed later this month to one person, but then say to another that it'll get fixed on May 17th. SSO honey, you're not trying to break through a ravine in Minecraft. It's literally just getting a sheep and cow unstuck. And after getting flamed for it further in the exact same thread they said that shit in, it actually got them to fix it the next day on Thursday of the 1st week. Now SSO, was that so hard to do? All you had to do was just, again, move the cow and sheep to get unstuck. Didn't look like you need to have that fixed by the 17th. Seems to me it just felt like they just wanted to put that on a until later list, and we all know how that probably would have turned out. Next, the teleportation to unlimited rider XP. This was also discovered in the 4th week of April, where if you go near the waterfall in Valedale, get teleported to the Forgotten Fields and redo the main story quest where you help Lisa grow the roots of the willow tree to the one in Scarecrow Hill with Aiden's harp. This was the first time a bug was so bad, it brought up an already completed quest for a lot of people from the dead.
Nobody talks about my mom like that. I just did. Get in here.
However, after people snitched about the exploit, SSO said they'll be working on it, and they moved it immediately. As for what they did for it this time, they ended up removing everyone who used that bug's XP that came from the exploit and brought it back to the level they were before in June. Which is actually very interesting since last year when they had that Tornado Shard Rider XP rush from the shitty Halloween event last year, they only took away the ability to gain Rider XP, and they let us keep that XP that we got from it. And I think it was because since compared to this bug, this one you didn't really do anything for it since all you had to do was find the teleportation hole, do the quest, and you do it over and over and over until you get a lot of XP. While the Halloween event, you had to generally work hard to actually get as many shards for this as possible. And people that did the bug from this with the waterfall shit, they're actually upset, but also I think it was fair in this case since it was taking advantage of a quest that was already completed, so it's really a give or take for you in my opinion, but yeah. Finally, the last and the craziest bug is the card changing bug. So for context before going into this bug, back in the days of SSO when they actually took time to do April Fool's jokes in the game, one of the jokes they did, and in my opinion the best one they did, was where you had the ability to change your horse into a car, and this shit was a lot of fun. It was even fun to the point my cringy 15 to 16 year old ass, however the fuck how old it was when I did this, I thought it was a brilliant idea to do this frenetic.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that?
This is your chance if you want to see how shitty my editing was. You can go find it in my old wave of videos where I thought I was cute with my shitty ass mic. I really thought I was doing it, y'all. I really did. Even my bird screech donkey laugh was in there as well, so I guess that never changed. Anyways, around the start of May or so, Mina Tozy posted a video discovering how she experienced a bug where while she was doing champs at Valedale, her horse got turned into a car while she was just staying there, and because of the fear of potentially getting reported as a hacker, especially since she had never done any hacks in the first place, she immediately logged off.
Then I started to get a little suspicious. I started recording, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna move. And guess what? The freaking car moved alongside with me.
Other players also experienced the same thing on other social media platforms, and this led to people being more scared of sitting around the champs area due to not wanting to get reported and banned. As for me, I thankfully didn't get this. This might have just been because I wasn't either on that much during this time, or I don't know. And the good thing about this was that after a while, SSO was made aware about it and said that they won't be doing any bans for people that got this bug, which good job on them. So y'all probably wondering, how the fuck did this happen exactly? In an update video on this situation, Mina Tozy explained how it was actually caused by a hacker that somehow actually fucking got to where they could see every damn thing in terms of people's characters through an engine they created, and he then mentioned how he was mainly trying to do it just to themselves. However, whenever he activated the custom consumable he made for the car, it turned other people in the server's horses into cars, but it was only visible to yourself and not others.
So this was a special effect that he networked, and what would happen was, for some reason, other people's games would try to visualize the global effect by setting their own horse to a car state. So basically what would happen is this person would apply the car consumable to themselves, but somehow like the server glitched, and instead of changing his horse to a car, it would change other people's horses, but only they could see it. It was a special effect that he networked, and what would happen was, for some reason, other people's games would try to visualize the global effect by setting their own horse to a car state, and that would fade out if you were far enough from the cheater that was doing all of this. This would happen because the server would stop sending the player information to the cheater, but again, every player that came into contact with him would get the effect. The effect, so your horse that turned into a car, was only visible to you, so you'd only see yourself in a car, even though it happened to everyone around you too. This whole thing was some sort of a client-side bug. The server didn't get any information about the player changing their own state to a car. It would only get the info that this cheater was applying the car state to themselves. It would then send this information to others, and the game would process it incorrectly, rendering other people to a car state instead of the person that was cheating and applying it to themselves.
In terms of what happened afterwards, I'm not 100% sure on what happened to the hackers since they were kept anonymous, but as of right now, SSO has patched the bug in their client, and no one's gotten the bug ever since. In a way, I do hope the car ability comes back one day, but in the form of maybe an April Fool's event, since in general, a lot of people, including myself, just missed the time when SSO actually took the time to celebrate April Fool's Day and such. But yeah, still can't believe the man actually managed to bug the client, like goddamn. Now, as for more ban-related stuff, we got an Instagram user named Anna Silverwood was blamed for having an item in her fucking inventory that was somehow bannable according to customer service.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
They then unbanned her after a social movement through a reel, and as of right now, Anna mentioned there will be an update on what item they accidentally banned her for, but since then, no updates have been made, which is just, I'm not really 100% sure what happened, but I guess maybe they just banned her for no fucking reason. Like, just what is it with y'all for banning people for random ass items that are in their inventory from the game, bruh? Like, what is it with y'all? That's it for this section, so now let's move on to the oh no. Yes, y'all read that title right. Y'all didn't have any hallucinations or some shit. SSO Candles.
Boy, if you don't...
Also, we're also going to be talking about SSO's music record shit as well. So, on the day after my fucking birthday, SSO did a YouTube video, Instagram reel, and a TikTok detailing how Yelva and whoever this lady is wished they could take the smell of the Equestrian Festival with them, and they have come to the conclusion of making a damn horse-scented, AI-generated candle.
I just wish I could bring this feeling home with me somehow, you know? Like, the competitive spirit, the excitement, even the constant smell of horse poop everywhere.
What if you could?
Are you asking me if I want to hang out later?
No. I'm talking about horse poop. So what if we went out and we just took pictures of everything that we would want in a scent, and then we make it into a candle?
That is an amazing idea.
Boy, if you don't...
Are y'all stupid? Yelva and this lady then went to the company, No Ordinary Scent, where they explained how they basically make candles through pictures.
Alright, your AI-generated scent is ready.
Oz! What is that?
But it smells like a... Is there something more you'd like to add?
You better stop!
Or a horse armpit.
Y'all are going to jail! Period!
Armpit? Really? Yeah, it smells really good.
You can't put horse armpit in a scented candle.
But you know what this candle really needs? Star Fam!
So then they asked the community to send in ideas and shit, and that there'll be polls on scent ideas, which we'll get into that later. And after this shit went up, well, oh boy.
Escucha las palabras de las brujas, los secretos escondidos en la noche, los antiguos dioses y...
Boy, if you don't...
SSO, this isn't Bath and Body Works. This is an MMO. Just like, why? So I also did a video with Melly, aka the lovely Amelia Dreambell. Please check out her channel. She has a lot of content to enjoy there. And we basically discuss candles and some other topics in terms of like the cancellation of the books, Wild Song, and the comics, etc. So if you want to see all that, check out the video on her channel. So here's the thing. Out of all the merch ideas you could have thought of SSO, even though we have explicitly asked for things like figurines, more clothes, shit like that, you thought that candles were the best idea to financially help you succeed? Really? Like, let's start off with going over this damn questions poll, which is a fever dream in itself. First question, the smell of... Y'all are serious about this? Horse poop? I can't even. What the fuck? Thankfully, 61% said hell nah. But my question is, which one of you 39% said you want to smell horse shit in a candle? Do y'all just get like serotonin from sniffing it? Like, did y'all just want to just go up to a poop pile on the floor and you just want to get high from it? Like, what makes y'all think this is gonna smell great in your house? Y'all are gonna put people in the hospital. Okay, second question. The smell of hay. Okay, that's not so bad. 82% said yes and 18% said no. This is only gonna be bad for people that are actually allergic to hay, I think. So, yeah. Third question. Mud? Okay. why y'all want to embody the pig cocaine that is mud in a candle. Now y'all are just gonna be brewing bacteria at this point. Y'all are gonna create some fucking diseases in here. Jesus. Thank God again. 67% said no and 33% said yes. Fourth and final question of this first poll. There's actually 3 of them. Horse fur. Okay, I get maybe you like the smell of horses, but I don't know if you want to have that around every day in a candle. Like, just to be frank with y'all, just like, why would you want to have that around with you every day? 87% said they want it, while the poor 13% said no and are potentially allergic. Good job, SSO. Now you're gonna be making a candle that's potentially allergic for sure. That's the first pull, as I stated earlier, so now on to the second pull, which can't be any worse than this. Can it? First question, pick a season. Wow, a pretty normal one. Summer wins with 45%, spring is in second with 35%, fall is in 13%, and winter is 7%. Second question, an arrangement of horse snacks. Strawberries, carrots, bananas, and apples. Somehow, I don't know why, fucking carrots won. Okay, listen, I'm so sorry, but where in what world would y'all want to smell carrots in a candle? Like, the fruits I can understand, since that's an actual scent that you can get, but fucking vegetables? Jesus. You know, so far this poll is actually pretty normal. I can't believe it might actually be normal. I spoke too soon, so now they want to know, out of all of these, do you want to smell horse fur, hooves, or fucking horse armpit?
Yeah, it smells really good.
You can't put horse armpit in a scented candle either.
63% said horse fur, 24% said hooves, and somehow 13% of y'all want to smell fucking sweaty horse armpits? Are y'all okay? The fur I can get, as I stated earlier, but why do you want to smell some fucking horse infections and horse armpit gunk? Like, do y'all get turned on just again from whenever you scrape your horse's hooves and you smell the hoof infections from the hoof bed, and y'all just get fucking turned on when you lean down and you just go,
ah yes, that's a good smell of horse armpit.
like, what is wrong with y'all? Just like, what is wrong with y'all? Surely this is it.
Somebody, oh!
What the fuck? I'm sorry, but why the fuck do you want to smell sweaty helmets and boots? What do you want to smell that for? That's like saying you want to go smell some jinky gym shoes. I just, ugh. I need a minute. Okay, to the 63% generally wanting helmet sweat and the 27% wanting riding boot sweat, we'd have a come to Jesus moment. Come on now, get the holy water, get some like church music, something, just something. This is not okay. This is fucking nasty. Now y'all are just y'all are gonna start creating some like diseases that are gonna cause like some sort of like pandemic shit. I swear, like, this is not okay. Okay, please let this be over. Is it over? What the fuck? Okay, y'all, come again. We need to go back in the Jesus moment huddle. Come on now. Come on. Come here. This is not okay. Just why do 85% of y'all want to smell horse breath? And 15% want to smell a horse fart. It's a both are nasty. Both got like funky. You know horses don't brush their teeth unless if you take them to the dentist. And you know you don't want to smell no horse booty fart on top of it, the horse poop. Just why? Like look at these comments. This shit is worse. Y'all are nasty. Oh my god, that's the end of the second pull. That's only the second pull. We still got this final third pull. Rain and mud versus sun and grass. 76% picked sun and grass, and 24% picked rain and mud. I don't know how you're gonna get the smell of the sun, but okay, smelling fresh cut grass can be okay. Next, reality or magic. Okay, SSO honey, listen. You can't smell either of those things unless you meant the smell of depression versus the smell when you're high from crack like the Gen 3 Frisians.
Hola, orale, wait, let's get this party.
Like, this just makes no fucking sense to me. Like, yeah, even the poll's fucking confused. Next, beach ride or forest trail. And surprisingly, the forest one was 61% and the beach is 39%. I thought the beach was gonna win since I thought that was like a common like scent. But no, the pine trees won. You know, I think we're finally out of the clear and we're into some normal polls. So let's just get on to the fourth question. Oh, come on! Okay, we need to have another come to Jesus moment again. This is obsessive, creepy, and stalkery. Like, y'all do know you can't smell NPCs, right? Like, why the hell do you want to smell Visco Country Girl Lisa, let alone crusty ass licorice gel having steroidized bunky ass Sabine?
And her most gruesome weapon isn't her muscles, her walkie, or her whistle. Nope, it's her breath. It smells like hot garbage. What? Oh.
I get like some of y'all get horny from seeing Lisa and Sabine, but Jesus! Like, why do you want to smell them? Like, y'all are just getting into, like, ID channel territory of being creepers. Like, this is just not okay! Now the last question. Wildwoods or Pandoria? Again, SSO, we can't really smell these areas. Wildwoods, we can just kind of just infer it smells like a woods. But Pandoria? Like, what am I supposed to smell? Like, stingrays? Like, what else are we supposed to smell? Like, chemicals? Bacteria? Just, like, what? Is it over now, Jerry? Okay, thank God. You want to know what makes this sad, y'all? This is the most effort they've ever done for something that's supposed to be SSO related. That's just in itself really sad. Horses rarely get polls, y'all. Content doesn't even get any polls either. They only do this shit to candles. That's somehow gonna make people get turned on or send people to the hospital. Literally, if I smell a candle that's somehow made with all this shit mixed together, this would just send me right to the toilet and vomit. Like, this is disgusting.
What is that smell? Oh my God.
The reaction besides the common wave went everywhere YouTube-wise too.
One would think when you hear a candle based on your favorite horse game, you think, oh, maybe a Fort Pinta scent, like beaches, mango, sea salt, waves, maybe sand and coconut, very tropical smells, or a Pandora candle with some kind of fruitiness with a hint of vanilla, some sparkles in the wax, something like that. Well, no, you would be wrong because the candle is gonna smell like horse and hay. And pardon my French here, but these people genuinely think it's a good idea. They're taking polls, by the way. They genuinely think it's a good idea to make a candle that smells like horse fur, horse sweat, horse breath, and Sabine.
Literally, most of the people are questioning why SSO did this shit, and this just shows again, this is ridiculous in itself. I decided to then also see if they messed around with AI before in the past, and turns out they actually did, with using to see if they could replicate their backgrounds, which is more telling that they were already messing around with it. What I don't get is, usually MMOs involving a lot of art, you'd think they would despise AI. Yet, here's SSO loving the shit out of it, when literally AI could take their own art and use it for something else. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they use it more for their own game with the game either at this rate, but if they do that along with, if they ever, God forbid, do NFTs, they'll never hear the end of it. Overall, I just feel like the candles weren't a good investment of time and money, mainly because I honestly think only a few would buy them, to be frank with y'all, especially since these things, according to Google, cost It's 45 from this company, and I wouldn't be surprised if the company SSO is using is gonna make this shit to be fucking $60 or something. Another thing people discovered in this month was that SSO removed all mention of their own music line, which if you don't know, they are the Lisa songs, the Miscreant songs, the Nami songs, and their folklore choir songs. One of my friends also pointed out how Nami also did a post asking for a collab with the producer, which might hint they might have dropped people on the music end, and I hope to God they don't drop Nami as a whole, since basically the horses are gonna go into the gutter for sure if Nami ever leaves. It's almost like SSO's trying to silently move stuff away from them or rearrange shit, which is questioning a lot on the future of SSO as a whole.
This is just a problem because there are so many scrapped projects, so many characters and quest lines that have been just completely dumped, so many projects that seem like they lost funding. I mean, whatever happened with the Ride With Us thing, there was no conclusion to that really. All of these things have just been scrapped, forgotten. Here we are with an AI generated candle. They've cut two important parts of their company, things people enjoyed, and we're getting a candle that smells like horse sweat and stinky boots.
Now, let's get on to a section which, similarly like the last video, this one's gonna go into discussing topics that are triggering in regards to inappropriate behavior in clubs and predatory topics in regards to safety on the internet. So just like the last video, here's a timestamp to skip to the next section. This is a slight continuation of the hashtag Ukraine's need SSO server movement, but this time the social aspect along with events in regards to predatory and shitty people in the clubs. We're gonna go into different cases similarly to like what I did with customer support cases, but club style. First off, let's talk about the club Lonely Soldiers. An Instagram user Stosic Equestrian made a post exposing the Russian club Lonely Soldiers for using a terrorist symbol as a profile picture, along with waving a lot of war propaganda around with guns. Never thought I'd see the day there's gonna be a club that's using war propaganda, so yet here we are. The main issue with this club is that this club thought it was a brilliant idea to put a terrorist organization symbol as their profile picture. According to Queerly, the background of this organization is that they essentially, for the sake of being brief on this, is that they hurt people, especially women and children, and some are either executed or even recruited from the prison. So to sum it up, this is a hurtful organization that affected a lot of people in Ukraine, and the fact a club is waving this around is just really insensitive. After the backlash, they changed their profile to a bear, but for the most part, they didn't give a shit about the whole thing political wise, and basically ended up calling Ukraine players sensitive and political, even though they just used a political profile picture that was offensive and insensitive. As for if SSO took any action to this, Dosic went to 3 big SSO Discord servers, and only one responded saying they refused to share the info, which is really sad since it shows that shit like this again is swept under the rug. If you thought that was the end of this situation, nah man, there's more. Let's now talk about a creator called Tunes. A very informative account, which I highly recommend following, called SSO Worst, revealed a lot on people who were shown to be predatory, along with a lot of other shit they've done. First, we're gonna talk about the exposing of the user Tunes, aka Sidwitty, the owner of Space Riders and Fall Girls. For context, the club Space Riders is a dressage club, and Fall Girls is a hangout type club. As for Tunes himself, he was known for mainly doing club video edits, even did one for a friend of mine actually, and as for what Tunes did, Tunes was exposed for grooming minors, and this man is fucking 20 years old. A lot of people also said to not join those clubs because of the fact that Tunes tries to get with any minors in there and basically sexualize them. The man has dated a 15-year-old and preyed upon a 14-year-old along with many more victims. It was also revealed that he had nasty ass fantasies with minors, even at one point bragged about it. He also would use people for star coins along with catfishing people as well on his Instagram highlight with different pictures of men, and also even deleted one trying to cover up the fact that he was someone else in the picture. Jesus Christ. After this happened, and a lot of people sharing info everywhere on this as well, Toons ended up deleting both Instagram profiles and went into hiding. And as for what happened with both of his clubs, it's safe to say they might have been disbanded, or they might have just ended up going into hiding and haven't posted anything, since according to their Instagram, they haven't posted anything since March and April. Now it's time to go into the last and final case of this, Mavex. This was another person exposed for not just catfishing, but also hacking. Back in 2019, she went on a user named XGhostlyNotFoundX's account and spent all their star coins and got them to max level behind their back, meaning she basically took away their whole questing experience from them. She also did this for Sid aka Toons and gave him max Gorvik shillings, and essentially they didn't do shit to work hard to any levels whatsoever. God damn. She even got people suspended for putting people's accounts from level 23 to level 25 and bragged about it, and then has the fucking ability to give herself infinite star coins, which is a lot of money. Jesus Christ. This is one of the many times people have used engines or hacks to benefit themselves, and somehow SSO still can't catch these people. It's just sad that they still can't even stop people like this. And mind you, this is an MMO of almost 12 years old. My god. As for the catfishing, similarly to Toons, Mavex had a lot of different women pictures that came from Pinterest, and turns out this was the 15-year-old Toons was with? Oh my god. I cannot stress this enough, but y'all please be careful, and not just SSO, but any MMO in the internet at all, since not only this can be caused from straight up hacking, but also from people giving out their personal information, so please be careful, y'all. Since then, I have no idea if this is her or not, because for all I know, she could have just gone into hiding and done the same thing and hid like Toons. So, to conclude with all of these three situations, this shows that SSO tends to not really take any action against clubs that have actually done nasty and vile shit in game and outside of the game. And I honestly think SSO needs to not only bring back moderators, but also start taking action on players doing this shit outside of the game. For a game that's supposed to make sure to protect all of their players, especially kids, they're doing a horrible job at doing just that. Overall, we need to speak up more on information like this that vary from insensitive, offensive shit to predatory shit, or else it's just gonna keep happening over and over in this game. SSO, y'all can't keep pushing this to the side and customer service to handle, because we all know how y'all's customer service work. It rarely gets fixed or actually gets any action on. Literally, the moment you should get emails like this, you should actually immediately take action and investigate this shit, and especially when there's actual evidence present. The same energy of writing your articles and promoting sales need to go into the same exact energy with stopping shit like this in and outside of the game. Now with this section all said and done, let's get on to the game blog for this month, because it's about to link to a very important last section of this video. This game blog links heavily to not just the last section of this video, but also the state of what happened in June. And in June itself is a rabbit hole of info and historical events. First off, we're going to talk about some social media related things. SSO revealed the coats that are coming for the Gen 3 Mustangs, the Dartmoor ponies, and a spoiler for some coats that are going to come later on. So far, they got a lot of nice coat options for the Mustangs and the Dartmoor ponies, and for the breeds here. I mainly asked this poll question in regards of the UI stuff as well, but this was also in a mixture of it with a poll in regards to the Mustangs, and I asked if y'all were hopeful about the Mustangs in particular, since their code option came out first, and the results were that 51% said yes, 31% said I don't know, and 18% said no. And I asked for the stuff in the free response question earlier that was in a mixture with the UI shit. The responses were mainly people saying they're excited and just hope to God they don't get fucked up, along with also hoping they add more code options. And so then also announced in their story that they were finally gonna do the Gen 3 Dutch Warmblood, which was another Gen 1 breed that never made it to Gen 2. And they also asked a lot lot of questions in regards to, again, the coats, how they should be, etc. And then I also did a poll asking if you had any thoughts or hopes for the breed, and it was just, again, mainly, please don't fuck it up, hope to god it looks like an actual horse, or just think it's gonna probably get handled like shit. That's it on horses. Now let's get into the game blog. For starters, the positives of this blog is that SSO goes into depth on the behind-the-scenes process of the recent, very good main story quest in Devil's Gap, and also how it was with the environment of it, the design, you get the idea. But as for the last section, it's very concerning. SSO mentions that the next day they'll be releasing an updated character maker on the website to try it out to get an idea on what's to come with the updated characters. Okay, whatever is on here, we're gonna be stuck with for a while until they do some changes. During this, the built-up tension and concern about if there were any changes made to the characters whatsoever, especially since in the last blog where they discussed this, it felt like they were using the guise of changes hard to cover up potentially a really rushed anticipated update. They also mentioned they were going to reconstruct their website as well in the same text, but the main focus people had on in this blog was the state of the updated characters.
If this update is about inclusion, why aren't they including everybody? I see women and one body type. I see maybe only a few skin tones, and again, one body type with different weight distributions. Inclusion, I don't really think so. I'm glad there's more androgynous body types, but come on, these are not different body types. They're the same body type with weight distribution.
People had a lot of questions on what's going to happen, as well as the rising tensions after past updates with their history of releasing unfinished updates, and overall, people were hoping and praying that SSO took any feedback into account from the beta test and the comment wave that came with it in September 2022. But did SSO put any care into this update for the maker? Well, you're about to find out. On May 30th, 2023, SSO released the sneak peek updated character maker. Now, do you think SSO adjusted the models to not look like toddlers? Did they adjust the body types more? Did they add more emotion? Were they really improved from the beta? Well, take a look.
How in the fuck? How in the fuck? How in the fuck? How?
I think you already know what's about to come next, but just in case, this shit was on fire.
What the heck?
We need some milk!
Ah, look at the top of his head! Look at his lips!
I revolted. I begged my entire life for our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This is the thing I did.
What more do you want from me?
this comment wave doubled the one of the UI alone. There were so many comments just like the UI one, you could count the positives. But dear God, so many people went off to the point, even on the day of, in a little bit of June, people made edits, including my ass trying to attempt to edit it with what I had to work with. This was a nightmare to edit, by the way, and I'll go into more on this in June, but overall, this shit was on fire. People were in like up in arms. It was fucking everywhere. Basically, people could not stop talking about it. It was that bad. I'm also gonna mention real quick with how editing with this was again, just also, even though I said it was a nightmare, I also gotta say, at the same time, it either just felt like I was like, it either looked good in some parts, but then after looking at it, I was like, oh God, this is just getting worse and worse. It just needs holy water bad. When we discuss this in June, y'all are just gonna see just how much this fucking affected everything, cause ooh Lord, the uproar is just, ooh Lord, it was bad, sis, it was bad. First off, let's talk about how I felt during this when I played around with the character maker itself. First off, the pros. I like the eyebrows, especially with giving the options to have none or have different colors. And I like the lips, but please, for the love of God, stop having this hanged out mouth that looks like a baby alive doll.
Do I look?
And now the cons, which if you couldn't tell, it's a lot. First off, this model is still proportionally bad, just like from the beta. They still got the same shoulders looks issue, except this time it's more so one shoulder feels like it's smaller than the other. Our posture also feels like we got slapped into becoming a cardboard cutout. Our hands have officially been contorted like the Wolverine. The lower body feels like it's too small and it should be a little taller. The faces feel like they're mainly unproportionate in the cheeks and the eyes, since the pupils are way too big, which makes the eyes look even bigger. And our head is constantly cocked looking up, and we are still emotionless as fuck. Now, next point, they did add animations in there, but oh Lord, we're gonna need to talk about this shit. We look like you know how when you go to a party or like you go to a social gathering with like your friends and stuff, and you run into someone that you don't really want to talk to and shit, but you still gotta like, you know, stay cordial and shit, and you just sitting there awkwardly smiling and shit, and you just look like you just want to leave the situation. Yeah, that's exactly what this looks like. It's just like smiling too hard. Like it needs to be more natural and shit. Just like an awkward smile. Next, the model in this got a lot of bugs, y'all. We got again our lips just again not fucking closing. Our hands aren't even connected. The hair is clipping through the damn clothes. Our hair is sticking on the eyelashes. People have turned into void monsters. You get the idea. Next, some hairstyles I like. This side long hair and the ponytail are nice, but some of them need volume, like the long hair, specifically in the top of it, and this spiky hairstyle, because it just looked like someone just dumped a bucket of water and went out with like a bunch of gel and called it a day. And then another issue is with some of the dreads in this maker, the poop texture. The textures just make them look like poop. They just don't really feel like dreads with these styles, and it could have been better, especially with the edges. Next, my other main issue is that we don't have any shading at all on the body whatsoever. The muscles aren't really defined well. They're just stretched out to look like muscles on the shoulders and shit. And there's just a lack of shading with and without makeup. God forbid, please do not put these bitches with no makeup. They look fucking ugly. Unless if you're trying to look like a man, power to you. But if you're, for us women, please, for the love of God, do not put this with no makeup. They look fucking terrifying without any makeup, and they need shading bad to actually have it. Jesus.
Flashback Mary.
Hi, sisters! Because basically the problem is in the cheek area, and even some other areas like with the nose and shit, we look like a cross between 5 to 50 years old, depending on the face type we choose. Like, we need contour and highlight bad, bruh. It just feels like they took a skin color from like a color wheel and dropped it on a grayscale model and then called it a day. Like, it don't even have like undertones, which, speaking of skin colors, let's talk about the skin colors themselves. They thankfully expand on the skin tones. I applaud them for that. But I feel like we're all stuck with the same undertone. My in real life skin tone isn't really here. The closest I could get to it was this one. I am more of like a light tan sandy color, and I'm African American, so I'm a bit on the lighter side, but I still look like I'm actually black. Just saying. This is the closest I could get to it, and basically people also asked for some more paler skin tones, and some people are also as pale as the fucking wall, so there's also that as well. And even on like the darker skin tones, there are even some people that are even darker than this, so they could really just add more. And also, compared to the concept art, they had more skin tone variety and a wider range than what we got in here, which is just weird, which makes me wondering what happened behind the scenes. Like, just what happened? Another issue with the skin tones is the color palette circles where you choose which skin tone don't match the skin tone you see on your character. And this happened to me, where I thought this was my skin tone when after clicking on it, it looked like this.
He needs some milk.
Yeah, I am not that dark. I look like the one in the wheel, but not the one in the fucking character itself. Like, y'all need to actually make your color palette wheels accurate to match what you see on the screen, because this shit don't match. You literally gave the darkest shade a black circle.
I am perplexed. What happened? Oh my god, wow.
Next, the clothes, which, ooh boy. In the character maker, the stretching on specifically the tops vary depending on the body type you choose, and it's very noticeable if you're wearing something with buttons. We're gonna go more in depth on how the clothes look, since this was basically more so what I could see in the character maker. We're gonna go more in depth on what I could see when playing around with them outside in the open with them. So another issue with them is that it just feels like they kind of didn't really properly retrofit them in this case, and also the sleeves on some clothes look deflated, specifically my jean jacket. Like, they need to not be deflated here, they need to be more up there. And also, I just feel like with the shoes, specifically with the boots, they feel a little smaller than normal. Next, there should have been more body types in slider customization. Some people have said like it might not be possible, but honestly I think they really should, since considering they are able to add a slider for the time of day slider, they should be able to do the same. And the thing is, this would have helped a lot, since another issue people have for the women or anyone wants to be more feminine, they don't have a body type that's like able to have their curves and their boobs. Really, if you want curves, you can only get to the plus size, but even then there should have been more curvy options and more boobed options. And then as for male players or people that want to look more masculine, there should have been more masculine ones, since really you can only manipulate what the first body type. Because here's the thing, as I've preached multiple times in many of my videos, y'all know this, men and non-binary players deserve to be here just as much as us girls do. I'm being very honest with y'all. They deserve to be able to look like themselves in the game. It's not going to affect the story. It's not going to affect how we save on, how we save Lisa, how we get the golden apple. It's not going to affect whether or not it's going to make this a safe place or not. Because here's the thing, as we know from with SSO at this point, even before this, it's still not a fucking safe place with how we see in the chat and shit. So literally that argument is invalid. People are still going to date and shit. You get the idea. And also, we still got a lot of games with female pro tags, so there's also that as well. Anyways, back to on topic. Literally, all they have to do is just change the pronouns, to be honest. Maybe change from sisterhood to soul riders. It's not gonna change the story whatsoever. Now, as for the curves and boobs issue, I also gotta add there's also an ass issue, since we also got a pancake booty in some of these. I feel y'all as well. To describe my body type, I am more of like in between, but I'm not number 2 in between. I am still like, you know, not this thick, and I'm definitely not a toothpick either. But your girl has boobs, your girl has curves, and I have an ass. Even as when I was like a fucking in high school and like middle school, your girls had boobs. And also, people have talked about this as well, where like even as like kids, like they had like training bras and shit like that. So literally, I don't really get the stigma on like, ugh, we can't add boobs to the female models. Literally, it's not gonna traumatize any kids whatsoever, unless if you make it actually inappropriate. Another thing too is I also have muscle on my arms a little bit, like just like a little tone, but I mainly have a lot of muscle in my calves. I just personally didn't really see myself in any other body types, and I just feel like I had to pick one because that was the only more like decent one I'm okay with. And I'm gonna probably talk about this more in June because it's also very prevalent. It's also funny how SSO wants to be inclusive, yet at the same time they really only got a small percentage of what people look like. Basically, as I mentioned earlier, if you want curves, you have to turn to the plus sizes, but if you want to be skinny, you're stuck with number 1, maybe 2 if you're fine with that, but probably number 1. And if you want muscles, well, you're stuck with number 3 with some stretched out muscle flaps, not really actual muscles with any shading. Look at Sabine's compared to our muscles. Literally, Sabine's got better muscles, bruh. And then that leads to my next point. On both sides, there needs to be actual body types, and what I mean is there's still that issue of basically the body types that we got are all the same body shape but in different weights. In other words, there's not really any difference. Honestly, they need to add body shapes like heart, hourglass, square, athletic, oval, you get the idea. Plus, I also feel like even on the plus sizes, there could have been more on there as well, since honestly, the 3 that are in the character maker don't fully represent plus sizes in general, because they also vary, just like in the skinnier body types and the average body sizes too. I do also want to say that yes, people do have some of these body types that are in the character maker, but based on what I've seen in the comments, the majority couldn't see themselves in any of the body types, meaning it's okay to add more into the mix for all genders and all different body types than what we have right now. If SSO was really inclusive, they would have taken the more time since the beta to add more in terms of customization on top of the presets, but here we just got barely any of that. And then my final point for the cons is that it just feels like they didn't do anything since the beta. It feels like all they did was they took it out of their files after 9 months since the beta test in September and just did some minor changes to say they changed something. In general, it also feels like a slap to the face with giving feedback during the beta test, and now it's more so waiting on the impending doom for a lot of people during this. I also then did a poll on this, and boy. First I asked, do you like them? And 42% said I don't know, 40% said hell nah, and 17% said yes. So we're already off to a very mixed result start. Second question, I asked if there were any final thoughts or requests on them, and just like I did with the free response beta test polls on the characters, these ones are gonna remain anonymous. And another free response question as well. Overall, people said the eyebrows and the hair are great, but there needs to be more muscular body types, masculine body types, skinnier body types, curvy body types, potential thoughts of quitting the game, pointing out that NPCs look more snatched than us, they still look childish and toddlerish, some couldn't find their body types in there, it doesn't really feel diverse like they promised, pupils are too big, it's too very uncanny valley-like, they look like the same they did from the beta test a while ago, pointing out how some people have said some body types look quote-unquote fat when they're more average size, needs body types with boobs, and finally, this one is really interesting, and this is gonna make a lot of sense when we get into June. Someone said they predict that most of the people in the server are picking the skinniest option available and have the same faces. In other words, most people are gonna be potentially geared towards body types like 1 or 2 and have the same face that looks good, which is very interesting. This is gonna link to a lot of what happens in June, as I stated earlier, but for now, let's move on to the rest of the questions. Third question I asked, do you think they're diverse? And 18% said no, and 18% said yes, which is again very alarming since it's showing how in a way the characters only expand in diversity just a little bit in certain categories, but it's still very limiting for a lot of people. Cause here's the thing, they expand diversity in skin tones, we can acknowledge that, and there's more diverse face types and colors and eyes and hair, but at the same time they still have limitations that are very limiting. So even though they expanded a little bit here, there's a lot of limitations here and there as well. Second to last question, I asked how old do I look, and the main responses I got was that I looked like I was either the age of a kid in elementary school, so like 5 to 11 years old, middle schooler age meaning like 12 to 14 years old, and very few said I looked like I was 15 or 16 or higher than 16, which let me remind you, we're supposed to be like 17 to 18 years old, not a toddler or 5-year-old. Yet here we are looking like we're some middle schooler in 6th grade mixed in with a toddler face, a 5-year-old, and some other shit with a 50-year-old somehow in the background of the cheeks. Finally, this is technically a question for predicting what's going to happen today, but I asked for any predictions on what's going to happen, and these ones aren't going to be kept anonymous, but basically, overall, everybody said it's going to be chaotic, people are going to be quitting, people are going to be going to a strike or some shit, leave for other games as well, and I think this picture that someone sent is the perfect representation for the whole chaos of this whole thing.
Bye, have a great time.
Now let's talk about this socially in terms of shit on social media. Not only were people voicing their upset and their constructive criticism, but also just like the beta test, there were people that were fatphobic once again as last time, but it was still, you need to find them personally for me, unless if I'm very blind at this point. In response to this, Luna Sandgarden started a movement called #NewPlayerRealMe, which is a movement to fight against the actual fatphobic comments with showing their character maker version and their in real life versions, which for the sake of this video, I'm gonna be censoring the selfies part. This was also used to also bring in more ideas like hijabs and some other stuff that people asked for in terms of customization, but it was mainly supposed to promote body positivity in the community, which I think the message is good when it comes to stopping people who are actually fatphobic when it comes to the characters. Now I'm gonna say something really clear here, especially when we get to June. People wanting skinnier body types does not mean they want the plus size body types gone. Let me emphasize this real quick. They want to add body types, not remove body types, meaning they want to add, aka add more. The common thing I've been seeing in the comments, and again, you're gonna see this again in June, but people that nicely explain that they want skinnier body types because of being skinnier than the current skinniest option available get steamrolled and get called fatphobic or even anorexic. So for a nice example of all this is a very nice, constructive criticism comment explaining that they wanted more skinnier body types that they don't see themselves. And now here's an actual fatphobic comment. Do you see the difference? Because we're gonna be talking about this a lot in June. Literally, they're painfully obvious if someone is actually fatphobic. Which, by the way, y'all, please don't ever be fatphobic to someone, let alone shame somebody on their body type or for wanting a body type in the game. Do not do that. It is incredibly rude. Just don't do that. And here's the thing, it's literally at the same time, like by doing this, it happens on both sides. Y'all are just hurting each other, and it's basically you're being hypocritical on the wanting inclusivity and body positivity if you're gonna shit on somebody for wanting a skinnier body type while on the same breath shit on somebody for wanting a plus size body type. Like, y'all are just hurting each other at this point. And here's the thing as well, if y'all like the way the characters look in the character maker, good for you. I'm just not necessarily a fan of how they looked in the character maker, let me tell you that. And as for June, yeah, we're gonna talk about that later. I just feel like by not only having actual fatphobic people and white knights, but also people getting shamed for wanting skinnier ones, it's now created such a divide in the community that just hurts both sides. I wish SSO had said something during this as well, but it's just mind-blowing how they even went on to proceed like everything was fine when really a lot of comment wars and debates happened on the characters, which a lot of people voicing the critique on them still not really get listened unless if it's a positive comment. And at the same time, there's people literally just tearing each other down in here over wanting their body types that are already in the maker or wanting more body types that are not in the maker. It's just like, Jesus Christ. Even at the same time, they also ignored a lot of feedback that is very valuable in there that they should have been listening. And it's even very prevalent that, again, that they only respond to positive ones generally, but when it comes to negative comments or comments that are actually giving constructive criticism, they just give an automated response or just don't respond at all. For an update that's supposed to be the most anticipated in SSO history, SSO themselves are acting oblivious to it all. As for what's in store in June, as the storm kept raining on, the hurricane began to form. With that being said, we finally finished May's roadmap review. Hallelujah, we just got through another deep dive of information that's happened within this community. This was a lot to unpack, and somehow my throat did not dry out in this. Something's wrong with me. June's probably gonna be the same amount as expected, so get ready for that. And also, I just want to say thank y'all for being troopers with this big video amount, and also for being troopers with dealing with the polls that have come with this month. So really, thank you. I can't thank y'all enough, and I can't wait to continue on with the roadmap review series, and hopefully finally get back to doing some other videos as well that I have in works for a while. So be on the lookout for that, as well as for shit that's going on in my Ko-Fi and everything else. So with that that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!